Hi, welcome to the apartment that I paid so much for because this is Hong Kong and I got some pretty crazy priority lists. Hey everyone, it's Sharon. Nice to see you again. And if you're new, hi. Some of you may know me from my previous apartment tour video back in September 2020. Yes, time flies. A lot of things happened. I got my Hong Kong PR already and I moved out to a new place. So by the time I uploaded that apartment tour video, I actually already moved out. And yes, it took me 9 months to finally be able to record and upload this new apartment tour. One of the main reasons is because things were kind of worse in Hong Kong back then. Hong Kong was hit by a third wave and I had to work from home for almost 2 months. I couldn't go out that often as well, which is totally fine, but on most days it got really stuffy because there's no view outside the window and yeah, natural light became more important than ever. Thankfully, I signed the 6+6 contract. That means 6 months is fixed and 6 months is optional. So in early August, I already found a new place and I could start pack my things and also clean the flat. So yes, that's why I could also record the apartment tour video because it was not really messy anymore. The moving part itself is actually not that crazy. It's just that I moved out by myself because it's just 5 to 7 minutes walking distance from the old flat to the new one. And yes, because I'm also a cheap person, I don't want to hire a service or logistic company to do the moving. It was pretty crazy because I had to carry my luggage back and forth under Hong Kong heat and moody weather. Homey, pricey, and ordinary. Yes, kind of. So this new flat is for 9,000 Hong Kong dollars a month, excluding the water bill, which is $100 fixed, and the electricity, which depends on my usage per month. And it's actually already discounted from 10K because I signed the contract on the very day I took a look at this flat. It's not even took a look, it's like took a glance. I didn't even go in because the old tenant was still there. So yes, it's still pricey, but it's within my budget and it kind of ticks off my priority list. So if you guys remember, I talk about 3 things that you should consider when you're finding a place: price, location, and space. And you can only have 2 out of these 3 things unless you're a really lucky person. But me, I also value privacy a lot. It's one of the main things that can drive the price really high. Recently, someone commented on my previous apartment tour video saying that this studio is bigger, is located in Causeway Bay, and it cost 11,000. Yes, that's like a good deal, you know, but it's just not within my budget. Finding a decent place below 10,000 in Causeway Bay, it's a bit rare. So that's why if I actually found that, I might not even consider. So yes, I would like to remind you guys that finding a flat in Hong Kong really comes down to each individual in terms of the preference, the budget, and also the supply. And that's when the luck plays a role because you just never know, right? Like you already took a commitment with this flat and then you suddenly browse again and there's a better deal. I still think that finding a flat is as difficult as finding boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay, this is not based on my experience, but I feel like it's even harder for me to find the perfect flat. It's just because nothing is perfect and I actually realized that. But it's so hard because we have to commit immediately for a year. So it's basically based on your instinct and based on the first or second look. Imagine if that's like a person. Like you have to commit immediately on paper after your first or second date. That's pretty crazy. So I still think that finding the right apartment is harder. Oh my god. I'm just kidding. I didn't know even like why I talk about it. Let's move on. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys around and point out some interesting stuff and basically the flat in general. Towards the end, I will also talk more about living in Hong Kong. I got some questions from different people, so if you guys want to know, just keep watching. You're currently seeing my favorite place in this house and probably in Hong Kong as well. It's better than the previous one because this bed is very near to the window. So it's good that most of the days I will have the perfect sunlight. Alright, let me show you guys the window side so you can have a better idea. See here, it's basically a bit weird because some of them it's already worn out. Here I got one dead plant, which is really sad, and this one is still alive. You guys may wonder what's that thing just now. It's basically a material that was used to cover the upper part of the window when it's heavy raining, so the water will not come inside. It was installed by the landlord, I guess, but more than that, I just think that it looks ugly, especially with a curtain like this. It doesn't really cover the whole thing, or not even decent in my opinion, if I paid this much and I still have to deal with this kind of thing. But yes, beside the window thing, it's actually not that bad, and so far I'm actually okay with everything. There's nothing below the bed, so there's no storage space. That's kind of the downside because the previous flat, they have everything set in terms of the furniture. So yes, that's it. And let's move on to the next section, which is the wardrobe. Obviously, it's not really spacious enough for me to cover everything with my clothes hanging. Otherwise, I couldn't take the clothes. This one is my two blazers and some pieces that I like, but in white colors, in beige. So this one is basically tops and bottoms. You can see that there's nothing done there, so I just put my luggage there. So I also got this lamp from Miniso. I don't know if it's still working. Oh, it is. Because I just feel like it's too dark sometimes, but in my opinion it's not too pretty. So when I turn here, it's basically the mirror that I got from the previous tenant as well. So this is for a reminder every time I look into the mirror that I'm just a human being, and it's fine to feel insecure sometimes. So this is where I spend most of the time journaling or editing videos. Here I got my mirror and the desk for journaling, and this cupboard right here is for me to store my books and my makeup. This calendar is a paper one, so you can just change it when the month changes. The flowers that I got from the flower market, the piggy bank, but not in a piggy form. I think I have something. I got the home fragrance, and right here I got the Lucky Charm that I bought during Chinese New Year. It's still the same carpet that I got from IKEA. so now you're seeing my kitchen area. It's actually not that big and it's not that aesthetic. I've got this microwave. Actually, this is not mine. I got it from my landlord and it's a bit old, but it does the job, so I'm fine. Moving on to this part, this extractor, I also got it from my landlord. I didn't have it when I first moved in, but I asked for it because it's important when you cook and the kitchen is not near the window. One tip for me, just ask for whatever you need to the landlord. Even though it doesn't really say that this flat comes with blah blah blah, but you know, just ask. I'm gonna give you guys a closer look again. And I would say that this flat is really ordinary and old because it feels like they've been there for a long time. You can see this one, right? It's like this when I first came in, but I can still open it. And next to it, it's the fridge. We open this part and then you have to open it like this. I don't know, I just feel like it's so weird. Also, the space in this area is so small because if I open this washing machine, right, and then I want to open this, and then I couldn't even open the fridge. So I have to keep everything very organized. Living in tiny apartment 101. Okay, so right now I am in the living area. I will not call it living area actually because it's basically only a sofa and then this small space and then this TV rack. So this TV, obviously I didn't get it. Then I got a pack of masks. So over here I got my Switch that I already connect to the HDMI so I could play Animal Crossing on my TV. It's my hair dryer and the curling iron. I got some spare masks. I never really wear them because they're too big on my face. And this box is basically my new perfume. I just recently bought it. I kept the box because it's just so pretty. I don't want to get rid of it. So right here I store a lot of things. This is my game, Animal Crossing. And I got my wallet. This is my camera bag. And right here I got some tripod. Oh, and this is my old camera. I use it for recording my previous apartment tour, but now I don't really use it anymore. This one I got it from Taobao. It's for me to reheat my tea. And let's move on to the last part. My tote bags and also the steamer. Then that's it. So next to the main door, I got the shoe rack. It's actually very efficient and effective because it doesn't really eat up a lot of space. It's actually from the old tenant as well. She was kind enough to just leave it behind. So I'm currently using it. You can see. So this is where I keep my shoes. It's not that many, but it's still very efficient to have this shoe rack. So I'm really happy about it. This is where I keep my keys. So I'm not gonna forget every time I'm leaving the house. And then I've got my soft lens, some room perfume, and my tea box. I don't have anything right here because I recently changed to tea leaves. And a calendar and a mirror. So I'm currently in front of the bathroom. It's really close to the main door, and on the side there's the kitchen. So it's in between, and it's relatively smaller compared to the previous flat. Actually I'm not too sure about it, but it just feels like it's smaller. To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of this bathroom because the design was really old and one of the lamp was broken. The lamp itself, it's in yellow color, so it's not really bright or anything. For me, it's just not really decent for the price of 9,000 a month. Yeah, I guess I can tolerate to some extent because the toilet and the shower, they're still separated. But other than that, I feel like they could do so much better for this bathroom. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to show you guys around. This one is for the lamp, this one is for the ventilator, and this one is for the hot water. Okay, so when you enter, this is the sink area, and as you can see, the lighting is not good enough for you to do makeup or skincare, but it's not like I'm doing it right here. below I store some of the cleaning products. There's also some stuff here for the laundry. So in my opinion, this is not really a good design because it's just so weird that the wall's texture is like this. I don't know, I feel like it makes the whole bathroom even more humid.
Settling in, settling down. Falling in love, not falling out. I keep on falling. Each of us both done in the crown. A king and a queen royally bound. Yeah. Both called it from the beginning. Called it. We knew that the right to be nice. We do what we gotta do to stay winning, winning. The fuss and the fights will keep in trust. And you make me wanna say.
Alright, so that's the end of today's apartment tour. I really hope you guys enjoy and find it helpful. And yeah, I actually don't know. I'm not too sure if I'm gonna stay here for the next year. I know it sounds crazy that I'm already thinking about moving out, but I have something in my mind and I feel like I have to solve this by moving out. But anyway, I'm just gonna leave it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching until this far, and I hope that we can meet on other videos soon. And until then, take care always wherever you are. Bye!
Love you more today. It's gonna play out the same.